down up to the local levels, to the local levels. Then education on both modern and folk methods of early warning, because even young children can become very good disaster advocates to inform their parents that actually this may happen this season because of what they just taught us at school. Then we have also an option of radio talk shows as a means of sensitization. And another issue that we're able to put in this early warning is we have a very complex terrain in the region where evacuation can become a problem because of the hills and the valleys. And then lastly, the sustainable land management point. Here the options are land use planning, collaborative forest management, government buying of areas and compensating especially the gazetted areas, and then massive sensitization. But the issue here is enforcement is weak, and it's something cutting across all these points where Uganda generally we have very weak enforcement mechanisms across all sectors. I think those are the few additions that our group was able to come up with.
Thank you so much. Please take your seat. Relax. Some additions from the group members of group name number one. Group one members. Any? Yes, please.
To come out clearly is on the issue of community policies, where she mentioned about the bylaws. We gave an example where we look at certain cultures where probably men are supposed to be cut and it's known. To an extent that even when some people come from abroad and they land on you here in Kampala, people will appear and they will just cut you because it's tradition. So looking at a unique situation of whereby we know maybe with Alegia, and we know what is happening. One of the problems, they evacuate people and they come back. If there was something like a community policy on that, you do this, you go to prison, or we even chase you out of the, I don't know, clan or whatever. Now, most of the policies, like she talked about, we may be having them at national level. But these policies which come down to our unique situation as what may be happening in the land. And also on improved agriculture and livelihood diversification. I don't know what you think about my idea, but I was thinking about something on talent. Because if we look at ourselves, many people say that probably the first things we do, we may be employed, but we may not be knowing what we are good at, and we can actually earn from that. So on this issue of livelihood diversification, then on early warning, also that this information, this climate information, the forecasts which are passed down, maybe they could do that in local languages for people to understand. Then on this thing of settlement management, I had an idea whereby I was saying, fine, we are talking about government putting these wetlands aside, but we are having issues right now of people being evacuated and they come back. But if we are to make it sustainable, I was imagining some countries whereby government is owning land. So if they zone these areas and they notice that in a particular land where a certain person is an owner, maybe the best way to do it would be them to buy that land. That is minus these wetlands and so on. Buy the land from these people so that they can provide them with what they may need to settle elsewhere. But I also wanted to add that when it comes to issues of, just like she said, cutting across awareness creation, it may be very hard for us to separate government from the people, because we know government is the people and the people are the government. So this is just an appeal to Dr. Loy. You came up with a very good model for the community, but it can actually get frustrated. I wish you could also sit down, knowing the problems we have in this country, and come up with something to help us. Because you're coming up, you're our teachers. Unfortunately, by that time, probably these things were not there. It will be very hard for a PSO who to get back in school for this. A project to help us, donors are frustrated. People are withdrawing their aid. So if you listen to them and and you said that as teachers we need to change how they are thinking, it would help. And how you justify this, maybe people in government are used to certain allowances of certain amounts. But imagine if you made this project come up, and we know these people are busy elsewhere, and you're paying them, for instance, 4 million per day here, which PS would send a representative. They would be here, even if you wanted them 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we know that these things come up, but they are actually frustrated. And yet in these offices, people are sitting down and are planning everything for these communities. So that is just my contribution, because if we want this sustained creation awareness, but also government